Sports.
Welcome to Late Night Bites. We've got an NBA heavy episode, so let's get right into it. Now, the first breaking news that I've seen was in regards to Donovan Mitchell's 71-point game. Now, according to the NBA 2-Minute Report, the NBA Rules Committee confirmed that Donovan Mitchell committed a lane violation on his putback that forced overtime. Now, essentially what that says is if they had gotten that call right, the game would not have gone to overtime, and he would have finished with 56 points, I believe, instead of 71, because you'd have to take those two off the board as well. I want to follow this story. I don't know that that's confirmed. I'm reporting it, and you should always source. you should always quote your sources unless they are asking to remain anonymous, but especially when you have not confirmed the information yourself. So they do have a photo here from NBA Buzz that appears to show Donovan, but it appears to show 6 people committing lane violations, if you want to be honest. So you can check that at Bitesize Sports Twitter feed. It is up right now. But let's dive into the big stories of the NBA tonight. The main one being the 150 to 117 whooping of the Boston Celtics by a Thunder team that did not have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander due to a illness. Should be pointed out, apparently. The worldwide leader deemed it necessary to point out that it was a non-COVID illness. So I will also report that it is a non-COVID illness. So there we go. More notably, I would say, is the stat line, the box score from Oklahoma City. Williams had 21, the other Williams had 14, Wiggins had 17, Giddey had 25, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, no turnovers. Dort had 23, he was plus 31. Let's see, also Mann and Joe off the bench each had 21. So, huge night for the Thunder. As far as Boston's concerned, only Jalen and Jason showed up for this one. And let's see, Tatum had 27 points on 17 field goals, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, hit all his free throws, 6 boards, 2 assists. He did turn the ball over 4 times. Not a great night. I mean, it's weird to say it. And guys scoring 27 points, and you're like, yeah, this is his floor. This was kind of a off night for him. 9 of 17 shooting percentage. That's not terrible. I mean, he's shooting over 50% from the floor. You'd like to see him hit more of those threes. Looking at Jalen, he was 11 of 18, also 2 of 7 from 3. As a team, when you look down this box score, Boston just did not hit their 3-pointers tonight. Jalen was 5 of 9 from the foul line. That's questionable. He finished with 29 points, but only 2 assists. 1 rebound, no steals, no blocks, only 1 turnover, but just not enough from the supporting cast here. Looking at this bench, I think it combined for 10 points. What is this? Oh no, I've got some guys in the bottom. Brogdon and Pritchard were not on the screen when I pulled them up, so let me correct that immediately. Because Brogdon and Pritchard each had 17 points. They're the sole contributors on a bench that saw everyone play. I mean, Griffin, Vonleh, Williams, Jackson, Hauser, Cornette, and then Brogdon and Pritchard. I mean, everyone played for Boston tonight, and they just didn't have it. So the Thunder with an impressive 150 to 117 win. My question for you is this: what's the reasonable reaction for Boston? I've seen Skip Bayless say things such as the Celtics are missing Ime Udoka's defensive presence. I think takes like that are a bit of an overreaction. Now, of course, it's been noted and it's been stated on this channel and on the bounce that yes, Boston needs to get better defensively, and this will be a great example of that. They got to do something, but I think to make such a overstatement about a team that's 26-12, they're 11-7 away. Go listen to our last episode of Bite Size Sports if you want to know how how many teams in the NBA are not winning their away games right now. So this is an overreaction when it comes to Boston, if you ask me. This team is still plenty good. This is a bad night. I'd need to see another night like this before I'd say, oh, they're missing something and they need something to be fixed. Certainly lots of questions to be raised, and we're going to need to look at the full game tape to assess this, but let's not overreact. You know who did overreact tonight? Oh, we're the home fans in our nightcap. But before we talk about what the fans in Utah had to unfortunately sit through, let's touch on what was what almost will be an afterthought. It's crazy. This entire Tuesday is full of fantastic NBA storylines. We thought we were spoiled on Monday here in Milwaukee. In a 10-point Bucks victory, Giannis had 55 points. Listen to this. The Bucks scored 32 in the first, 29 in both the second and third, and then 33 in the fourth for this 10-point win. But Giannis has a career night once again. He is not going to allow you to forget about him when it comes to the MVP race. We've been seeing amazing performances from Luka. We've seen, Donovan Mitchell, 71, I'm sure even has some people calling MVP. Not here, but hey, we've seen Jokic has been doing some amazing things. Devin Booker early in the season before he got hurt, but Embiid had 40-something last night or Monday night. Giannis is saying, hey, hold up, man. Do not forget about me. 55 points, 15 of 16 from the foul line, should be noted. 20 of 33 from the field, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 5 turnovers, but a plus 25 line for Giannis. Once again, we see no Middleton, but Ingles is getting acclimated in the rotation here. He's got 18 minutes. I expect a decent amount of production from Ingles, especially by the time we get to the playoffs. I think he'll be a quality rotation piece for the Bucks. He was so easy to forget about. I don't mean that as a slight in any way, but when they already had Middleton missing from injury, it was easy to forget, like, oh yeah, they acquired Ingles too, and that guy's going to come back. And then, of course, there's Grayson Allen with his 3 points, but hey, at least he didn't injure anyone in this game. I don't think. So we got that going for us, which is nice. So we'll dive in later this week and look at the scope of Giannis's work over the last few games, because it's been something to behold, and it deserves more attention. It really does. So I want to say that because we are kind of glossing over it here since it was a 10-point victory, and we do want to talk about the wild finish in Utah, but it should not be taken for granted the week or maybe 2 weeks that Giannis has had. Just absolutely absurd. Equally absurd was the finale. Let's call it the final minute and a half in Utah between the Sacramento Kings and the hometown Jazz. The Kings are tied up 115 with the Jazz when the final seconds, when De'Aaron Fox gets to the rim for a clutch layup to take a 117-115 lead, when Lauri Markkanen dials up some of his hometown heroics, some of this late game magic he has been whipping up in Utah, and he hits a clutch 3 as time expires and the Jazz fans go nuts. But oh, no, it was not to be, as the shot got off after time expired and the Kings hold on. They are now 20-16. They are 9-9 in away games. Utah is 19-21 now. Fall to 12-7 at home. We've been watching Utah from the beginning over on Stadium Rant at the Bounce live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. we have been watching the Utah Jazz like a hawk because they were a surprise team that I was warning people. Poor Utah fans, we've seen this. Us Indiana Pacers fans, we know this all too well. You win too many games, you hurt your future draft stock. Now, and we look at what's going on in Minnesota and think that, hey, Utah fleeced them on that trade. They're going to be fine no matter what. But I do think this is a team that has hurt themselves with the number of games that they've won. They now potentially have an unrealistic set of expectations, and we see them, they're already below 500 here in January. So this is a tough win. You don't want to, or tough loss, sorry. You don't want to put too much into a one possession loss like this. But again, Utah, I don't think is there, and they have a lot of assets they could move before the trade deadline. And I implore the front office to consider that, and I won't be surprised to see a couple of these guys moved before the trade deadline. So there you have it, folks. A wild Tuesday night to follow our insane Monday. But we will leave it there here tonight at Late Night Bites. Be sure to like and subscribe. We have another new podcast coming out tomorrow. It premieres the Indy Blue Bloods. For those of you who don't know, I hail from Indiana. I am a Pacers fan. I cover the Indianapolis Colts. I'm a Colts beat writer. I'm on a Colts podcast, so I am a Notre Dame fan. Indiana Hoosiers when it comes to basketball. Listen, I will explain all of this on the Indy Blue Bloods podcast. If you join me, we cover all of the major pro and collegiate Indiana sports teams, and we will look to dive deeper into Indiana sports programs. Hell, I grew up near Indiana State. I'd love to cover the Sycamores more. So, hey, also, congrats to our cornhole champion. Anyway, it's time for me to go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you listening. We'll see you next time.
This dude just did this